So hold on before you do anything.
No, I'm calculating in my head. I need to. This is. It's okay. We've only got about 50 things currently chasing.
Do we have a trebuchet?
We do have a small army, which may be about to earn their keep. At this distance, they can see us, right? They're
so bizarre.
No, they can obviously see Taston, but you're talking about the portal. I think.
Yeah. RP.
You can see the portal barely from here.
Okay.
Well, you can see the portal. I'm sorry, pretty well, Mark.
Yeah.
You figure down on the ground, it's probably a lot harder, but there's a lot of attention being attracted, and obviously there's a big glowing light source, so you figure it's probably pretty evident.
Okay. Well, I'll ask my other question when we're back on camera.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to go ahead and knock off all my key now because I am burning all of it. I'm down to 0.
Okay, so stream is live again.
Yeah, we're back.
Yay. Oh, it would have been great if everybody just laid over like they were dead and we came back.
What?
Oh, they didn't make it.
Well, shoot. No.
Is my mic coming through for the stream?
I would wait 30 seconds. While we wait, do you mind giving me a perception check, Guido?
Yay, it's working. Okay, what do you need?
Perception. I need you to see us coming.
Okay, I got you.
Well, yeah, because we could still like how far is the distance on the psychic link?
30 feet. We're way out of range.
Yeah. Okay,
that's why I need to make sure they can see us right now.
That's a good. Okay, yeah.
All right, so perception is a 19.
Okay.
So what you see is you see Mark up there about 100 so feet away. You also see what is a very large disturbance of undead. There is the tops of top of like a very bright light coming through, which you've been tracking. That's Taston. There also seems to be just coming into your view through the portal a bunch of angry giant undead skeletal crows that seem to be chasing him. You can't see all of them from your vantage point, but you figure there's probably quite a few. He seems to have upset the natives.
Are they in any kind of formation?
Not really, aside from just clump.
Okay.
Or swarm. What do you call a murder? That's a crow thing.
Oh no, that's no.
That's
Can we
very
not
apt.
do good? Yeah,
Very
no. Don't like that name.
I hate to ask this, Teston. What is your full movement speed right now? Like
full movement. If that's all I'm doing, it's 60.
Okay.
It'll get you within 30 feet of the portal.
Yep. Okay.
I mean, there's no option that I've heard of in 5th edition for strain to really push that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I could key to do it, but
Yeah, I mean that's
Right,
basically
which is
certain class.
that's how you do that.
Yeah.
I don't have a spell that says move
Well, yeah.
faster.
expeditious retreat, man. Come on.
True. It's true.
How big is the clump of crows?
It's 24 of them.
That doesn't answer my question.
I'm just saying. It's
Are you asking how
hell is
many-
coming after us.
Are you asking how many you can fit in a certain radius?
Yes.
Okay.
20-foot radius.
20-foot radius. So they are large sized.
So 1, maybe 2 if I'm lucky.
No, more than that. They're
Okay.
they all took off with each other. So the thing is, there's actually a formula for doing this. If you're doing like, a burst on a bunch of grouped up creatures, I'm trying to find it real quick.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it's fair to say you could get quite a bit. Not 24, obviously, but maybe 6 or 7 or so.
I have a plan, but you're not going to like it.
Man, I can't even hear you. I'm
They can't
100 feet
object.
that way.
Yeah. Fun
He's
fact:
100 feet that way,
your
too.
plan is not able to be rejected. So you now have carte blanche.
I mean, it's technically your turn, I think, in the overall initiative of things.
Yeah, if you want to do something.
Yes. I'm
Let's
going to
do it.
regret this, but yes.
I'm gonna laugh if we make it all this way and you kill us right here.
I know.
It's gonna be funny. Like, we've managed it. I've pulled off the ridiculous thing that used all of my key, and Taston's like hauling, and then we just die.
Okay. I'll. So they have a dex save 16.
Okay.
I have a range of 150 feet, and it explodes in a 20-foot sphere. I'm trying to target as many as possible that I can get in a 20-foot sphere.
So something I just realized is that since this is 3 dimensions, this thing doesn't account for it. So what I'm going to do is just do like 20, 15, 10, 5, etc. as it goes down. So using that, you can actually get a dozen.
Nice. Okay. That is, of course, if they fail their save.
Right. So what is your DC?
16.
All right, go ahead and roll your damage then.
So, a green glowing ball bursts forth from my hand, streaking out to this point, and explodes. Let's see. I need more D4s.
Oh, I know what this is. Okay.
6, 10, 14,
This place is going to get rain for the first time in quite a while.
18, 22, 26, 29. Wow. 32, 36.
Okay.
An air burst of acid.
Oh no.
Would you say it's a vitriolic sphere?
I would say it's a vitriolic sphere.
So this sphere streaks through there and just air bursts, and you see about 3/4 of those bony creatures just explode and turn back into the skeletons, which start falling down and hitting the ground, falling prone. And how many hit points do these things have?
It's raining dead.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay.
It doesn't seem like it has killed them, but it has stopped their chase.
Great. Now
Now we
they're
just have to worry
angry.
about the ghouls.
Yeah. There's also a bunch of flies which just died. So, well,
Hey!
and you look back, and Mark, you realize that probably has just alerted the entire area as you see angry buzzes of chasmy, like swarms, start like rearing up, and the place just becomes like instantly noisy, as it sounds like there's 1,000 flies just suddenly start taking off from the mountains.
Sorry.
As I'm on approach, by the way, because within this turn I will be within 10 feet of the portal. I am screaming at the top of my lungs, "Ham sandwich! Ham sandwich!"
Okay, so we'll come back to Mark then.
I mean, I'm burning everything I can to get within that 10 feet.
Okay,
That's
so you just
all
go,
I got.
Okay.
And that's
Fair
my
enough.
last key. And it's, to be clear, though, this thing needs to close right behind us. We're not fighting these things.
All right. You're
And
at
then
the
it closes
portal.
right.
Yeah. The stone giant says, "Whoops! Oh, stubbed my finger," and it just.
Aw.
No, that doesn't happen. All right. So, but let's talk about Taston first, because a lot of the creatures have been deterred or broken in their fight, so not all of them reach you.
Okay.
A fairly significantly less number reach you, but you do have these gigantic bony crows descending on you. So it's your turn, but you can tell that they're going to reach you before you reach the portal. What would you like to do? You have about 90 feet of movement left before you reach the portal.
Am I going to get another turn before those crows attack?
Before they attack, no, but right after
Okay.
right after they go, yes. It's kind of like Mark, Test, and stuff.
Okay.
Then you, then back around again. And sometimes all you can do is just beat it.
I mean, in all honesty,
that's all. It's literally all I have. Because if I switch to another spell, I lose protection from evil, since it's a concentration spell. So I'm like booking it.
I have a stupid question. What's your bonus action as a cleric? So I can remember what the cleric bonus is. Or anybody can answer that question.
I mean, Sentinel Death's Door is kind of my bonus action.
Okay, so basically that's why I was asking. Like, in my opinion, action-wise, you should just be running. You should not waste any turns trying to confront this at all. The only thing I was thinking is you have a bonus action that could help, but it doesn't sound like you do.
I can't actually think of anything off the top of my head at this level. Because they would all be spells that you would select. And because there's like Healing Word or Spiritual Weapon, but there's nothing that's, stop undead. Basically.
Yeah, I know. That'd be like,
I mean, I've played
Distract
Diablo 3,
undead,
right? You have
that'd be
the
kinda nice.
shields of bones that prevent enemies from following you for like 5 seconds. Yeah.
Okay, so continue booking it.
yeah.
All right. So you get
Rather
swatted
than,
out by more zombies and skeletons on the way through.
Yep.
One of them does manage to hit. 2 of them managed to hit. Well, they took their A game out apparently now. 3. 4. Wow, they were rolling hot. All right, so as you're just shifting through the hordes of undead, 4 of them manage to strike out at you. Not that they'll do significant damage, but just in case. Ooh, not with those dice. So it is a total of 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And then descending on you are these undead crows, and they
So I take
are undead.
6 damage total because of the regen.
And they are undead, so they will be disadvantaged to attack you, but you just get descended on. Like, you almost only have the light of Dawnbringer just to light where you can see, because they have just blocked out that pale moon that's just illuminating this place. There's so many.
Okay.
Fortunately, much less, because some of them got acided, but there's still a few. So first miss. One hit. Miss. Only one of them manages to hit you.
Wow.
Yeah, that protection is doing work.
Praise Kelmvor. Oh, praise Kelmvor.
They do a little more damage, though.
Okay.
So that it is 13 points of damage as one of them just rakes its claws across you.
Okay.
And as that happens, they strike at you, and then the crow forms just disappear, and then they reappear as skeletons next to you, just hopping on the ground, and you are just being swarmed by these things. All right. Next up, it is Liam.
He's doing a fireball or a friend.
So I wasn't thinking fireball. Question.
Mm-hmm.
When you upcast a spell, you increase the damage.
If it says so.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you upcast a spell and instead of increasing damage, increase the radius?
Generally, no. Not unless you're a sorcerer.
Oh, okay.
Using a meta magic.
Bummer.
Yeah.
All right, how far away is Tassin at this point?
He's 30 feet away.
Oh, only 30?
Yeah. I mean, you can see him down there. He is completely surrounded by these skeletons of former clerics and paladins and druids and monks. but he is there.
In that case,
Oh, I'm sorry, Destin. Undertaker, could you please make another D100 roll?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's get more patrols in here.
Yep.
77.
okay. You're 30 feet.
Okay.
That means that we have Psychic Link.
Yes.
Hold on to your boots, friend.
Oh, boy.
Benign transposition. I swap places with Taston.
That's
I don't actually think that's a good
Okay.
idea.
that's neat, but
I have a
Yes,
plan.
I know what he's
oh
doing.
no.
Oh, okay. I think
He's done this before. I know what he's doing.
yeah.
Oh
never mind.
no. It's great, but what are you doing?
Yeah, I like to
So-
think that because we're both in the link range right now, so we're both just like, what? And that's the only response we get off before you do it.
Also, I do have to mention that, and this is after that D100 roll, that Taston, I guess just before you get benign transpositioned, and so Liam, you'll see this as you come in. Oh, by the way, Liam, welcome to Thanatos. You get your first breath of this place. It's great.
Not pleasant.
Not yet.
Okay.
As an immediate reaction, I'm going to use my bonus action to Misty Step back. I don't even take a breath.
Yep. Okay.
That's
No,
disgusting.
fair enough. Fair enough. So before you left, you did see that down the hill there were some black armored, what looks like knights with glowing red eyes stomping towards the place, about a dozen of them.
Well, that's bad.
Yeah. All right.
Do they
But,
get an
you are-
attack of opportunity on me? Or...
No, they were advancing. This was another patrol activation.
No, the skeletons and stuff that was swarming Taston.
Not if you're teleporting.
Okay.
Unless they all had Mage Slayer, which they don't.
Okay.
That sounds nasty.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of those things like you're playing a game and they have this one reaction thing and you just press it and everybody just instantly kills you. What happened?
Aw.
No, they don't have anything to stop this.
Okay. As
so
soon
I
as
think-
I'm back, close it, close it, close it.
And Mark's left there.
I was going to say, hang on. Give me a second.
I thought you made it through before I
Nope,
did. Oh,
I'm
okay.
10 feet out still.
Okay, my bad.
I'm bulleting through, but I am 10 feet out of
As
the
if I have to ask, Mark, what would you like to do on your turn?
Well, okay. First thing, I would have dropped the brother right here and I'll say 50 gold right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, about that 10 goal you owe me from 10
Yeah,
years
you remember,
Yeah,
you remember
exactly.
that time when you said, hey, I'll owe you for the drinks? And that was like 3 weeks ago, Taston.
That was the
I've been
coldest
waiting
of the cold.
patiently this whole... No,
About that alignment shift.
I know. Full demonic right at the end.
I booked the hell out of it through there.
Okay.
And I am going to shout to the warriors, to the Draugr.
Mm-hmm.
There are a large number of demonic undead right behind us. If any of them get through that portal, that's your job. FYI.
Okay.
I say it slightly less flippantly than that because I am.
So, I need to look something up about the spell right now because the Stone Giant may just be able to end this right here and there.
Turn it off, turn it off,
is
turn it off, turn it
concentration.
off.
Okay, yep, he can end it at any time. So
Close
when
the
you go
blast doors.
through,
Close
he
the blast
just
doors.
stops concentration.
Oh, thank goodness.
And the portal just goes and fizzles out.
See, I was actually worried that there would be like a round delay, and so we'd have some fun as the thing starts swarming through
Quote,
before we actually.
fun.
Yeah, fun. That's why I was telling the troops. It's like, guys, you need to hold the line here for a minute, but it looks like they don't. So we're okay.
He can end it at any time. And so the only thing that remains from the portal, aside from Krellin, is there are flies all over the place in here that have come in from the
Oh my
other
god!
area,
The cast
there's-
raid.
buzzing all over
no.
the place. But the portal fizzles out, and you realize that you've been hearing like the moans and the screams and the screeches of undead. That suddenly just stops. So there's a ringing as it's actually much more silent now than it used to be. And you are back in Gracklestug.
I am
There's a
going
lot
to turn to
more.
Taston, and with a genuine severity, I think you owe me one.
I owe you one. I owe Liam one.
Oh my god. Yeah, and I walk over to Liam and I just throw fist. That was whew. This is another one of those situations where another round or
4
two
rounds are on me.
would have made that very bad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm guessing those were they're not called Death Knights, but I forget what they're called.
No, they are called Death Knights.
Oh, they are. So yeah, I was right. So those are Death Knights. So we had Death Knights, ghouls, and freaking I don't remember how to pronounce it. Lekfa, or how do you say that?
Yeah, it's I actually had to look at the pronunciation. It's like Haikuva.
Haikuva, got it. Yeah, that was going to be a party right there.
Mm-mm.
So you know
what's with dozens upon dozens? I mean, come on, that seems like after like 4, it's not good.
I'll tell you how this works now. So as you're going through there's a cumulative 10% chance that you're noticed and attacked by a patrol, and there's a table of literally 20 types of creatures, and some of them are like, oh well, there's 10d10 of these, or there's 5d12 of these, or like for Death Knights it's 2d6. There's a Demi-Lich right there. There's ghouls, Chasme, things like that. Death Knights, skeletons.
I'm sorry. What was is it a 1 to spawn the Demi-Lich? I'm just curious.
Yeah, the Demi-Lich is only 1.
Oh god. No. I mean, like if you roll a 1,
more than one?
No, it's a d20 roll, and Demi-Lich is 2.
2.
There's
what's
actually
a 1 then?
A1 is a Nabusa.
Okay, no, that tracks. Although I don't know what they're like in 5th edition. Let's look that up.
They are.
Fun.
I don't actually know what their stats are, to be honest, because I've never.
They're
actually run them
CR15
before.
apparently, which is it's worse than the dragon we just fought. Just for those of you at home.
Well, they have abilities like Devour Soul and stuff, so they don't seem to be very nice.
yeah. They have the ability to. It's just the way it works is obviously you have saves and you have ways to prevent it, but if you don't, then you're dead.
Yeah, actually, these are. If you go down to 0 hit points or die next to one of these, it's terrible.
Yeah, that's a you need a wish to restore yourself territory right there.
Exactly.
That's not what you want.
It's not fun.
Oh wow! It actually buffs them too.
That's funny. Okay,
So hold on. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at this real quick. So actually, there's no limit to this. So he literally gets stronger as he kills your party.
That's it's Archimon all over again.
Yeah.
Okay, so we made it through. The portal's shut. There's flies all over the place.
I'm going to step over to Taston.
I'm just going to lean against the wall. I'm spanned.
Please tell me this is the man you've been looking for.
And finally, I have enough presence of mind to pick myself off the ground and check.
So the it's got the black armor that you saw in the mirror, and seems to be currently unconscious. But you lift up the visor, and it does seem to be him, although incredibly battered and ghastly looking.
Okay,
looks like he's been in fights, and his eyes are currently closed. He seems to be in some state of unconsciousness. If this was a normal person, you'd say that they were on like the verge of death. It looks so pale.
I will mention the drow and the mind control thing, just so you're aware of that, just in case he decides to.
Okay. Well, without thinking, like without doing any sort of like further medical checks, first things first, I asked Dawnbringer to use Greater Restoration on him. Just because I remember when Asha came out of the portal, she was a bit, what's the word? Insane.
Yes.
She was a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah. So I want to fix that with the quickness.
So, yes, Dawnbringer says something feels terribly evil about this person. And she reaches out the light beams to encircle him and cast Greater Restoration on him. And you do see some color return to him. He breathes a great sigh in his unconscious state. And then you see Dawnbringer quickly retract and say, there is much wrong with him still.
Okay. So would I need to do like a religion check to see like long-term exposure to demonic planes or abyssal planes, sort of like treatment or
Yep, I will give you a knowledge religion, and since you're proficient in medicine and this is treatment, you may have advantage on this as well.
okay. So is it a medicine check or a religion check?
You can use a religion check.
Okay, that's 17.
17. Okay. So you don't know every single specific detail, but in general, you know that spending too long on one of the abyssal planes is, if you don't die, is generally absolutely corrupting even for the strongest people. They just cannot hold out for much longer. People who have come back from these planes and survived have said to have had their personalities altered, so they wish to, or they are inclined to do evil constantly, sometimes without their control. They have bloodlust, to be uncharacteristically treacherous, to want to commit regicide, and some of them have come back with demonic possession. Sometimes they have insane ambition. There is a host of just absolutely evil things that people will come back for, and you know that treatment for that is generally reserved for like the highest magic in the highest temples. And it's impossible to cure, but you don't think it's in your realm of possibility at the moment. AKA, if there is something truly wrong with him and he has succumbed to abyssal corruption, he would need something like a Dispel Evil.
Okay.
Which is a 5th level spell. There are other, depending on if there's something wrong with him, you could potentially target those specific symptoms with more lower level specific spells or treatments or something like that.
Okay.
But unless you have some sort of way to observe him in action or to detect it using some other type of magic, then you're not really sure what specifically it would be right now.
Okay.
You do know that
on the to-do list is back to House Bainry, I guess.
Well, you do know that people who have encountered, and this is just like temple teachings, like standard temple teachings, who have encountered just demons and demonic influence in general are generally like quarantined for observation, just to see what's happening. But there's a variety of ways they can be affected, so it's hard to tell without observing them, or having something like something that would obviously be useful is like a paladin or something like that who could more accurately see if there's like a possession or something like that.
So I need a paladin.
A paladin could help. Yeah, kind of ironic. I'm looking at the cleric spell list, sorry, to see if there's something specific, because I swear there's something specific to clerics that I get as a spell. I'm looking for it.
Sorry, what's it do? Because I might know it.
Oh, detect evil would help if there's like a possession or something like that. Let's see.
Yeah, it's a 1st level spell.
Right. Detect magic, and that's not cleric specific, would see if there's any like enchantments or anything like that on him. The only reason I mentioned the paladin is they've got the detect, demons and fiends and evil and stuff just as an action.
Okay.
As an idle curiosity, if he did detect evil, would I show up on that?
I don't think so.
I mention it because it specifically tracks aberration, celestials, elemental phase, fiends, or undead.
Yeah.
Not whether they're evil. Just
you're still a true human. Okay. Or not human. You're still true humanoid. Sorry.
Oh my god!
That's what I meant to say.
True dwarven.
Mm-hmm.
I could also cast Identify on him.
That would work too.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yes.
I thought that was just for objects.
If you instead touch a creature throughout the casting, you learn what spells, if any, are currently affecting it. So
okay. Side note: when I look at him, the armor he's wearing is not his original armor, is it?
No.
Okay. First things first, get that armor off of him.
Okay.
Because I don't know where this armor came from. It could be contributing to the problem. So.
Yeah, I mean, not a problem. It seems like pretty standard unfasteners and such. Although you take it off, and
Does it burn when I touch it?
it doesn't. Although it seems to be made of some weird dark metal, and as you remove it, you can tell that it probably has not been taken off in quite some time.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, does he have the ring on him? His father's ring?
The ring. You don't see it. Or, well, Taston, you don't see it. He doesn't seem to have really much on him at all, aside from his longsword. You do see he has a symbol of Kelemvor on him, though, but it's not his original one.
Okay. So I take that one off of him and put mine on him.
Okay.
And then I take the other one for inspection.
Okay. So you've got it. It looks like it looks legit, but it's obviously not from your temple, like at all. He looks like he's...
You got this cheap knockoff stuff, I told you.
It's the Wish.com version.
Oh.
You look under it, it says maiden thing. You're like,
I knew it.
No, but you take it off. He is actually like his underclothing is the same stuff you last saw him with, although very battered and worn and dirty.
Okay.
It doesn't look healthy at all, like kind of emaciated and stuff. He's obviously been fed, but you can tell the diet's not been good.
Well, let's be honest. What the hell are you going to eat on that plane?
Yeah, exactly. Now, Liam, you're casting Identify.
Do we want to do that here, or
Let's take him back, because what I want to do is at least temporarily kind of start a quarantine of they don't have quarantine and like suits and whatever.
Oh, they have quarantine in the city.
Or they do.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Something just occurred to me. I can do this before we even leave the room. I look at him to see if he's demonic.
yeah.
Oh, using your
Well,
sight.
fine. If you want to just, yeah.
I'm just going to
Easy
look
mode
at him. I can literally spot a succubi.
Guys,
stop using your
I've got
class
an app
feature.
for that.
Stop.
Guys, it's cool. It's cool.
No, I can do this.
Yeah. So I'll tell you this: he is not some shape-shifted like demon that you can tell. He appears as he is. However, you can see like a faint, like demonic presence just hovering over him. Almost like there's something just right behind his back on his shoulders, just attached to him.
I informed Taston and Liam of this, obviously. But
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
So it apparently is something that can resist greater restoration.
Oh, I will say this, Taston, as you're taking the stuff off, you see that he has a lot of trauma to the back of his head, which is incredibly recent. Like something just continuously hit him on the back of the head.
Not me.
It looks like it was caused by a monk.
I was carrying him. You can like his head kept bonking against me as I'm going. I'm going kind of fast.
You can make a medicine check if you would like.
Yeah, I'll do that. It has the same imprint as Mark's forehead.
Mm-hmm. Just the back of a fist, and it has like the ring mark.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from, honestly.
Mm-hmm. He kept asking, "Are we there yet?" Oh.
Yeah. 23.
23. Okay, so you can tell you've seen stuff like this before in your studies and in your practice. This looks self-inflicted, probably hitting his head against a wall or something like that, or another hard object. And
Okay.
you surmise this is probably what knocked him out and why he's unconscious right now.
All right, well, since that's self-inflicted trauma, I'm going to go ahead and heal that.
Okay, are you casting healing on him?
Yeah. Cure wounds.
Okay. So how many hit points are you giving to it?
Cast it at... Since he's been through a lot, I'll probably cast it at like 3rd level.
He has the max HP to spare. So how much are we talking?
We are looking at 10, 15. My spell casting modifier. 20.
20. Okay. So you do that, and he just immediately jolts up like he's just waking from some terrible dream. And you see him take breaths that seem to be entirely too deep. And he seems to like readjust himself, like he's not used to breathing in air like this. He coughs a bit because this place is smoggy.
Yeah.
And he seems to have like just a moment of panic, like he's looking around and not realizing where he is.
Probably because he can't see too well because he's human like me. I'm going to bring out Dawnbringer to provide some more light.
All right. He sees that and he stares at you for like a moment, and then he grabs you.
Roll wisdom.
Can I?
Not so much in a hostile action, but just in an embrace.
We made it. I got you. I got your message. We found you.
Oh my God, that was terrible.
Yeah, let's not go back there. I think
I'm over there saying, so when we go back to Thanatos, I'm thinking we should take the paladin with us. He'll be a good help there.
I tossed Dawnbringer at Mark.
He says, how long has it been?
Doing the rough estimate of time, it's been like, 3 to 5 months since this all kind of went down?
Because it feels like so much longer from where I've been.
How did you live?
I don't know, but maybe just the grace of Calivorn that took me through this. He did not forsake me this entire time.
He's been busy.
Yeah.
I just need to say one thing. I didn't want to interrupt you earlier, but while you were doing the armor and the healing, I wanted to have been talking to the captain of the guard about we'll need to make sure there's quarantine in place so that we can observe him for a while before we release him.
Yeah, so he seems very concerned about what just took place. You get the feeling that he did not expect the portal to actually be like a literal portal to another invading army. And he says that there definitely needs to be some quarantine down here, specifically with the giants who can open up something like this right in our back door. You get the feeling he's writing a report right now.
Yeah, okay, hold up.
Pull him aside.
Listen. I got some gems. Can I bribe him? Is that even possible? Like, I'm asking the GM, is this something that's even worth attempting?
I mean, you've seen bribes in the city before.
That sounds like a no. Okay, so I've seen how this city works. It's too lawful for that. All right.
So Krellin says to you, Teston, can we eat something and get something to drink that isn't filthy, maggoty spider parts?
First of all, gross, but second of all, yes. Absolutely. Let's make that happen.
So he's bracing himself on you, like he's having a little bit of a hard time walking. But he is not letting go of you. You can tell that he's probably in still a little bit of shock right now and not really fully realizing what's happening.
With his, in addition to just being like completely out of it from being on another plane like that, but also I can't cast Greater Restoration, but I can cast Lesser Restoration. Would that help his condition at all? Or would that be redundant with what Dawnbringer's already done?
Surprisingly, it's not all the time. but from your knowledge, it probably would not help him with the conditions you know about.
Okay.
A lot of the Dawnbringer has definitely helped for sure, but you think there's no, I mean, from what he has right now, there's no cure-all fix at the moment.
Okay.
He literally just has like levels of exhaustion, probably some lingering effects that Greater Restoration can't cure, things like that. Needs observation.
Okay.
So he's.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I obviously don't want to interrupt in any way, shape, or form, but I kind of need to get ahead of the political situation. I think Liam's with me on this.
Yep.
So, one thing I was going to essentially offer as a bribe is, well, I wouldn't worry about the giants so much. I would worry about the giant army on the other side that I saw full and have a detailed report ready for you. Although, I mean, if anything happens to the giants, I might be so concerned about them that I might not be able to give you the full report on that. That would just be something of a shame, because there's a lot of stuff going on there, and I'm pretty sure those demons were sending armies to invade the rest of the Underdark. So it's just food for thought.
This is what exactly are you suggesting?
I can be more overt if you want me to.
He seems to be very literal.
Right, you got
The
to.
giants are our allies. We don't need to put them on report and cause issues for our allies right now. You can deal with that later, okay? We need to deal with the demons. I got info on the demons, and I'll hold it here on your honor that you will not cause issue for our allies in combating this demonic threat.
He says, I have no intention of causing issues, but I have to tell what I've seen here.
And what have you seen here? Let's discuss this. What have you seen here?
There is a portal which opened up to I can only describe as the worst place I've ever seen. Obviously, it is some demonic undead realm.
Which they only had access to because of the mirror.
That's true. They have no power to just open portals to that realm. We gifted. Oh my god. No, I'm going to go with it. We gifted them that power. And it was a once only thing. Obviously, I think it's fairly clear we have no desire to go there or be there.
It was for the rescue mission.
Yeah, this was a rescue to get this poor gentleman out of that hell.
Roll a persuasion check on this guy.
Do I get any kind of bonus to this?
No,
Advantage.
Okay.
You are known amongst the.
Thank God. We did. Well, that's not great. That's a 16 with my +0. So
He says, I tell you what. I do have the option of delivering an in-person report, and if you would like, you may come with me and assist.
Done. Liam, do you want to join me on that?
Yeah.
Make sure we kind of. Yeah. Let's make sure we head that off.
There is no way I can avoid talking about this.
Okay.
But if you wish to provide assistance in explaining what is happening and what should be done, you may.
Okay. Done. And it's also worth noting, just because I want to make sure that it's clear here. Part of the reason I'm doing this is to make sure, not just for the giants, but to make sure that nobody's going to be coming for the random demonically infused paladin and trying to do anything with him, so he can have time to recover and recoup, and we can figure out what the hell's going on there. Pun intended.
Plus taking him to quarantine.
Yeah,
that's my thing.
So
basically, I'm taking him to get getting quarantine and food, and then I'm staying with him to watch him.
So he's holding on to you. You notice he's still grabbing you tight, but he's just like looking all around. I mean, at Gracklestug, as you're taking him wherever you're going with him. I'm not sure where you're going in particular.
As a suggestion, I like to say this in character. Like, I know that he probably doesn't want to see a drow right now, so you don't want to necessarily introduce Asha to him. But at the same time, Asha might have some idea of what's going on here.
I actually didn't even think about that. That'd be hilarious.
Well, also that's the other thing. Is like they know each other, so this is going to be awkward.
Yeah, it's up to you. It's just something worth thinking about, because she might have some info. That's all I was thinking.
Okay.
And I guess I head off with the guard and Liam.
We do know that Asha is following you, Test, and she seems to be interested in what's going on. She's obviously keeping cloaked up. Ront seems disappointed that there wasn't any fighting, but what can you do?
Does Ront see the desiccated flesh on both me and Taston when determining his disappointment?
I mean, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. You're not particularly sure if he cared if he did, but he's like, no fighting? Oh, okay. Well, whatever. I guess it's your friend then, Shaman. Time to eat.
Yes. Let's go get some food.
Time to eat. And he grabs both of the myconids just on their heads to lift them up and then starts walking after you.
Oh, by the way, before I go anywhere, I buy some alcohol and it's in my inventory forever.
Everyone will have alcohol forever now. Yeah, it's funny, and everything's like, oh, you need this, magical universal solvent or sunlight, or you can just dump alcohol in it. Hey, it is what it is.
If you have a beer, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bren is following behind, just kind of sniffing Krellin, and seems to be shooting you worried looks. Mark, like he's not smelling something he likes.
I mean, in fairness, he probably doesn't like the smell of me right now.
Yeah, probably not. But
no, I mean mostly because the rod and the undead, the flies, which I probably still have a few smattered on my face because I was going like, how fast is 180 feet per 6 seconds? Because I feel like that's pretty fast.
I don't know.
I used to be able to do the math for that in my head. I can't anymore.
So where are you heading first? Where's everybody heading first?
So since we didn't actually get a residence yet, we don't really have a place to do quarantine. So we'd kind of have to go back to the Deed King's palace.
Okay.
Hold. And I'm sure they probably have something equivalent to a quarantine area.
Yep. So you head through there, no problem getting in. They know you pretty well. What are you asking them for anything in particular? You do know there is like the general barracks and the other clan rooms.
Just if there's a unoccupied clan room that could be secured in a quiet place for Krellin to quote recover. Basically, I'm trying to ask for a place that sounds like it would be useful for quarantine without tipping my hand that he could have, like, because I know how this is going to look. She's going to find out he's demonic and she's going to want to kill him immediately. And so I'm trying to sidestep that if possible to try and like just say he needs to recover. He's been through a lot. And that way I can find a place I can observe him.
Okay. Yep. So there's an open room. There always seems to be an open room here, especially with some of the landlords not really having reign over some of their areas anymore. And you are guided into a pretty luxurious place, which seems to have been emptied out. There's like literally no papers. There's nothing in here, just the bare essentials. And it seems to well suit Krellin. He is still just not marveling, but just taking in what all is happening, looking at the palace and such. And if you hoist him to bed, he will fall asleep almost immediately.
Okay.
But he is just, you notice almost immediately, he is having very disturbed sleep. But based on how exhausted he was, you figure he will probably be sleeping and resting for a long time.
Okay. See if there's there's probably not a spell for that.
Therapy.
No, I mean generally just like a not like a calming spell, but something like help him.
There's
sleep more
called
peacefully.
Calm Emotions.
Yeah, as I say, there is actually such a spell. Soothe Animal might work too.
Oh, it's a second level spell. Okay.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it doesn't last for a long time.
Up to a minute. Well, this is going to take a while.
Yeah, it's unfortunately a pretty short one. I'd have to look at the spells, to be honest, to see exactly what there is. There are some which, because basically what you're looking for is stuff to like suppresses fear or something like that. Well, there's a way to search for the spy condition. Let's see. Phantasmal killer. No, that's not what I want. Yeah, nothing that's ongoing aside from calm emotions. It really looks like. Yeah.
Okay.
Or like, well, yeah, or a 9th level spell.
Yeah, don't
A
have
wish?
access to that.
No, power word healed actually.
Oh, yeah.
So when are we going to have the meeting for the debrief?
Oh, they're going to do that right away.
Right away? Okay. When we get done with the meeting, I'll see what I can do to dispel any residual magics.
Since no one else did, I will bother to ask Asha. Any of this look familiar to any kind of things you might be familiar with that other people who are... I'm going to be kind of circumvent, like anyone you might have had a previous association with might be aware of how this works. Anything like that.
Make an insight check. Wisdom insight.
19.
19. She says this could fit quite a few circumstances. It is well known that the servants of Loth are well versed in a variety of torture and mind controlling techniques, and he does look like he has been on the receiving end of quite a few of them. I would suspect that he is likely either being tracked or there's some way to remotely control him as of now. This could just be a trick of Loth. It likely is. Will you discover it? Who knows? If you would like, I may wait outside his room just in case something happens.
I will relay this to Taston and make him decide if she should do that.
So in such, because she seems actually very interested in this, like she is curious, like this is something she just wants to study. Like this is like, oh, somebody's like under an effect of something that Loth did. This looks interesting. I want to see what's going on.
So I would say yes, and I'm going to be here as well.
Okay. So she will tell you, Haston, and she's going to, I'm assuming you're going to wait by Krellin's side.
Yeah.
Okay. So she will as well, though, just off in a chair in the corner, just like staring at him. She'll uncloak and everything, so she's not uncomfortable in here. And she will tell you that if he does happen to be possessed or controlled by a servant of Loth, beware, he will try to kill you.
Okay.
All right. Oh, task, you may make an insight check as well, wisdom insight.
Okay.
You feel like your dwarven companion wants to eat your brother. All that demonic energy, man, it's just going to waste.
That's the weird thing. Is like, is that even possible to do?
Is that possible to do, GM? To sap the demonic energy out of him? Real talk.
You don't know, but you could perhaps make a intelligence religion check.
Yeah, let's do it.
17 on the wisdom insight.
Wisdom insight, okay. Yeah, she just seems to be, like, even though trying to hide it a little bit, just intensely fascinated with what's going on here. Like this is something that she has heard about, but never even seen in person. Priestess curiosity.
Okay.
17 on the check for me.
17 on the check. So you don't really think so, because you're not. Yeah, you think this is really a case where it's actually It'd be like trying to eat an enchantment spell, if that makes any sense. It's like it's probably not really going to work that particularly well. It may just end up doing nothing. It may end up causing you pain. You don't have high hopes of it really working. It's one of those things that's so like deeply ingrained that it's probably not even something you could do without some sort of special like spell or something like that.
I will mention this to Tast and with the general atmosphere or tone of last resort, if everything else is failing, I could try this. I wouldn't expect anything from it, kind of a thing. And to be like, no, I don't want to eat your brother. Let's try to help. God, I just went through hell more or less literally to get him out.
Hey, it's
Agreed.
Tom, it's Bob from the office. Oh.
Meanwhile, Liam, you're going. Are you and?
Yeah, no, I'm with
Mark
Liam
wanted to do
too.
the
But yeah,
report?
we gotta go. We gotta go head this off before we lose our backing in the city we're currently reclining in.
Yep. So you with the captain go to Captain Blackskull. I guess something that I haven't really explained of now is that even though they're both captains, Captain Blackskull is actually like the commander of the Stone Guard. So they've got a weird ranking system apparently. So
Captain.
she's
Captain.
She's called Captain Blackskull, but she's the commander. So it is what it is. And Durgar starts into the report, pretty much starting to explain like literally exactly like what happened. Not really biased, but just I saw the portal open up. It was caused by the stone giant who cast this, and he starts listing off stuff that he saw inside the portal. So he seems like he's going down the route of just doing it very matter of factly and just doing a fact-based report for now. Captain Blackskull doesn't seem like she's enjoying what she's hearing. She is growing increasingly worried, especially when he is unable to accurately describe how many creatures were actually in the portal. Now, you notice that he does not know about the things that you saw, Mark. So he is not saying anything about that. So the question is, Liam and Mark, what are you wanting to add to this, or what are you wanting to do?
Admittedly, one of the questions that just occurred to me is whether or not we should inform them. But hey, by the way, there's giant demonic armies that are just going through portals, just hundreds and hundreds of mass. Yeah, it's just so you know.
This is what's known as a bad idea.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you kind of take the fore on this one. Like, I obviously have the intel, but I'm gonna keep quiet about that and just kind of let you be the voice of the face here.
So, what is it that he's sharing in the report? He's discussing the portal, but he's not saying what's on the other side.
No, he is, but he is not explaining anything that Mark has seen. So he doesn't tell about the Baylor. He doesn't tell about the portal. It's very much literally what you saw, Liam, with the but you don't have. He doesn't have the benefit of the mental link.
Okay. I don't think I saw the Baylor either.
No.
So, I mean, I'll tell them about the skeletons, the murder of crows, the destruction of the skeletons.
By a very talented wizard.
And I will explain that without the mirror, the giants do not have the ability to recreate the portal.
She asks you to explain about the mirror.
I'm going to rely on Mark for more information on this because let me rephrase that. I'm going to rely on lore for more information on this because.
So we have the Scrying Mirror, right?
Yeah.
And it allows us once per periodic time. It takes a while to recharge to be able to see a portion of someone's life. So I could see you, for example. I could see a portion of your life, or whatever, within a range that I forget, but I think it's within the last several weeks, something like that. And that allows us to have a perspective and an idea on where you've been and what you've been doing.
Wait a minute. So it's a scrying mirror, but the time frame in which you see is not current, it's random. If I remember that correctly.
No, yeah, that's correct.
She says, that sounds both useful and not useful at the same time.
It's been frustrating as hell. It's been helpful like twice, I want to say, and I'm saying this in character.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think 2 total times we've actually gotten some actually useful information out of this stupid thing.
So the giants use this to operate this portal?
At our bequest for the rescue operation.
You see. And you have the mirror.
Aye.
Right now. So the portal cannot be opened without this.
Aye.
You see.
So I'm sorry, Third. I thought of this earlier, and I should have kind of. Is there anything I can roll to know that Orcus wasn't there? I'm just going to ask that straight up. Like, because I know that the Citadel was a bit off, but I know the realm operates a little bit differently when he's there. And
right, you can make an intelligence religion check. I will tell you that DC is sky high because this is.
Is it above 20?
Specific.
Because I cannot go above 20.
It is above 20.
Okay, so.
Yeah,
I got nothing.
There's no way you think of that you could possibly know.
If only I had someone right. What's your knowledge religion, Leah?
Religion +5.
Is it 25 or lower?
Liam could make it.
Oh, jeez. I mean, if you want to go for it.
It's like some Sherlock Holmes-esque stuff right here.
Yeah, just and you see it's all in slow-mo, and the numbers appear in the air as you're kind of thinking about it.
Yeah,
19.
19.
Ugh.
You can't really think of any way you could possibly know.
That's whatever.
Not without physically seeing him or something like that you might know about his effects. I really don't know.
Do I at least know who Orcus is? Let me roll for that. Hang on. Nope. I've never heard of the man. That's a 4.
4. You've heard the name.
I mean, he's one of the bigger demons. So, but yeah, no, okay, whatever.
It's like, hey,
whales.
I mean, it's like, hey, I've heard of, insert some biblical angel, but I really have no idea like what he actually does. It's things like that.
Yeah, it's just sure. I think I've heard someone say that before. I will. If she's kind of calming down and not going to cause issues for our giant friends, ?
She seems to be satisfied as long as you have the giants don't have possession of the thing that can just open it up immediately.
Cool.
That you're telling her. So she's like, I would ask one thing. Would you be willing to donate this mirror to the treasury so we can lock it away? We're still working on getting it open, but our intention will be to, if this is actually what this does, make sure nobody gets a hold of this.
To be clear, as I think my esteemed arcane friend has already made clear, this doesn't just allow people to open portals to the abyss. There's other uses for this thing. I just want to be
I understand.
very clear about that.
I'm very much aware, but as you can understand, it is very concerning to have something like that in a place that I don't know about.
Yeah. That's okay.
We would be willing to compensate you for it if this is what you want.
We would only be willing to let you safeguard it if we were assured we would have it back when we leave.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check. You can tell that she just literally just does not want this thing out of her sight or out of under heavy lock and key.
18, so 24.
Wow. Okay. So you can see that she's just struggling with it, and she says, okay, if it is to leave the city in your hands, then I think that would work. We will, of course, be in touch with the giants, but if this is not something that they can do without this item, then I would feel much better. But while it is in the city, I would ask that we keep it under lock and key. But of course, you will get it back once you leave. Is this acceptable?
I turn to Mark.
You will be able to retrieve it at any time. I just want to know where it is.
Honestly, that's probably as good as we're getting without fighting our way out of this very room.
Very well.
Okay. So what she'll do is she will have a... I need to look up a spell real quick. She'll have a caster summoned, and they will look up in their spell book to try and find this specific spell I'm trying to find.
What is it? If I can help.
It's the chest spell.
Oh, yeah.
The secret chest, that's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. So they will bring a fairly elaborate looking chest with them. Except it's very small. It's like, a couple feet wide. Not really even going to contain this thing, barely. And they cast a spell, which you are probably familiar with, Liam. This is, I think, as a matter of fact, something that if you have in your spell book, you could potentially cast. It's Liamon's Secret Chest. And after the mirror is in there, it seems to disappear, and then he pulls out a tiny little replica of it, like it can just fit in his hand, of the chest that just disappeared. And he explains, says, well, the chest I have sent to the ethereal plane. At any time, and he motions to anyone, when you have this chest, you can touch it and recall the chest to you. We will keep this, and he tells you where the room is. If you wish to use it, you are free to get it, and we'll keep it under lock and key otherwise.
Very well. We have an accord.
Okay. This will last, if you happen to remain in the city for several months, we'll have to do something else more permanent, but for now, this will work.
Of course, it's a bad idea, Brigwood. Of course, it's a bad idea.
It's the only ideas we have.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure that's all we do. Just bad ideas left and right.
So it is currently in the ethereal plane. You know where the replica chest is that recalls it. It is shown to you. Actually, it is it's kept in one of the clan rooms, and it's actually hidden. Like, it's, if you didn't know to look for this, you wouldn't even know it was here. Because as far as it appears, if you didn't know about it, it's just some replica item, and it's hidden amongst a bunch of other different types of this. So you literally have to go into a clan room, past a couple stone guards, but they're everywhere, and find the specific chest and know to use it to recall this item. So that is how that works.
Bad ideas are us.
All right. So meanwhile, back, Krellin is still resting while this report is going on. Asher does ask you, Test, and she says, what, I think I asked you this before, maybe it was someone else, I don't recall, but what do you know of the Trials of Loth?
I'll do a religion check.
Okay.
I don't know who Loth is.
Is that new TV show? They've got like
It's on the CW, right?
Yeah.
You definitely know who Loth is, don't worry. But what did you get total?
I rolled a 1. So total, I got 4.
Okay. So it's something that you know is a thing, but as far as specifics, no clue. Obviously not something that you really would go and participate in. So,
Yeah.
So what do you say?
I'm not familiar with the formalities of the trials.
She says there are several tests. Sometimes they're called punishments. For it is unwise to avoid or to fail the test. Generally, it results in death at best. There's a few tests. The first one is one that I have seen, the test of darkness. When a drow has great ambition or willingness to put themselves, actually she wouldn't say put themselves, she says put herself before others, they may perhaps undergo the test of darkness. And all of these tests always come suddenly and always at some time that we did not expect. Whenever something significant happens, or perhaps Lolth just has some plans for the drow in the future. So there's a test of darkness. There's one called the test of ambition, one that maybe perhaps even the surface world has heard about, the test of the Drider. The test of lies, the test of sacrifice, the test of betrayal, domination. There are many tests. One of the tests is one where you must live and survive without your clerical abilities. And that is the one that I believe I am undergoing at the moment. Have you ever had your abilities taken from you by your deity?
No, I've not been out of favor with Kellenbor.
You know, I worship a good god, so
Yeah.
Why does he not test you?
Oh, he tests me with tasks, but
Well, everyone is tested with tests, but specifically, no test of faith, nothing.
not in the way that you speak, no.
It's interesting to me that the gods of the surface world are not harsh on their followers. It seems to create quite a few weak links. What do you plan with doing with this individual? What was his name? Crowlin?
Braylon.
What are your plans for him?
Restore him and then bring him home.
What if he has fallen out of favor?
then he's a fighter without his bonus feats. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's funny though. I'd like to think that maybe this is his test, and maybe my test is his test, and I can bring him back in favor with Kellenbor if he is indeed being tested.
If
Not
he
that
has
I think
fallen,
that
will
he's-
you kill him?
I would only do so as a last resort.
Okay. Then she goes back to just kind of picking at her nails and thinking. All right. Meanwhile, you've given the reports.
I want to take her aside privately.
Captain
seduce her.
Blackstone.
But yes,
Okay.
the seduce thing was
No.
no. But I like after the report, I'd say, give me a sec, Liam. I'm just going to take her aside real quick, and I am going to inform her of exactly, in as much detail as I can manage. I want her to be fully aware of the type and style of army that I saw marching through. I'm not sure where, because I sincerely doubt in my haste I was able to see where that portal was going.
No, and this was several miles off. Like the details are fuzzy, and you saw them for merely seconds.
Mm-hmm.
But
I saw the army.
yeah, Actually, you know what? Go ahead and just make me a straight up intelligence check. Just recall.
And God, 15.
Yeah, 15. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, so you're describing stuff to her, and she will actually like stop and like ask you specific questions about specific things that maybe you weren't even thinking that was important. Like how are they marching, how are they lined up, et cetera, et cetera. And you're able to recall from memory how that had happened. And she leaves for a second. She asks you to wait for a second, and she comes back, and she actually has a writing instrument because she wants to take this all down, and does so and asks you some more obviously military slanted questions, like, you know, were they protecting against this, et cetera, et cetera. You can tell it's probably not to her satisfaction, but you literally have no more information than what you actually saw. Unless you just start randomly guessing and lying to her.
No. I will actually apologize to her, since it was primarily a rescue mission and a scouting mission. Obviously, I did want to get as much intel as I could, but this was so swarming, I actually almost didn't make it back. So
I mean, she doesn't seem like upset at all. Like, you can tell this is probably something she's experienced before. Just like, you know, brief reports from her soldiers of something they saw, and that's literally all they can say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to make sure that you're aware of that, especially given that.
He says, no, this is useful. You understand, we have very few reports of actual demonic armies in full force.
Good.
So even the basics are useful to us. Just the way we would expect to fight these things if they were advancing on us.
I don't suppose you have heard any word of any demonic armies down here.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Well, that's good, because it's a +0 in my case. So that's going to go up to an 18.
18, okay. So she pauses for a second, and you can tell she's shifting through information in her mind, just trying to figure out what she wants to say. And she says, yes and no. Let me explain. This is not something that should be repeated to the general populace.
Obviously.
Under threat of death.
You'll notice that I brought this to you in private.
No, this is something I do appreciate, yes. We like to bring many things in private in the City of Blades.
Listen, I said I'm not seducing you, okay? That's not...
And she says, we, thanks to the Deep King's edicts, we know somewhat little, but what we do know is that many of our outposts or watch areas we have lost contact with. And anytime we investigate what has happened, we find signs of demons. We have not seen an army per se, but there is no doubt that there is a significant demonic force out there probing, taking strikes of opportunity, sowing discord wherever they go. If you think things have been bad in Gracklestog, I cannot even imagine what it is like for some of the less defended settlements. As far as I know, with the exception of precious few outposts around our area and some very close townships and settlements, we do not know what is going on past that. No one has come. The threat of a demonic invasion is very real, but I do have confidence that it is not hopefully as large as you say. Maybe it is being directed elsewhere. I do not know. I would think if they had the full force of the demons of the abyss, they would have marched on us already, and they would have had no problem overtaking us. But I am worried.
Yeah,
because I do not know. Once let me ask you this. Once the edict is lifted, which I hear will be tomorrow, we will be sending out the Stone Guard to several key areas to try and reestablish contact or just determine what has happened. It is my understanding that you wish to leave the city, whether it is tomorrow or months from now, I do not know. Let me ask you this. Where are you planning on going?
I do know that my comrade very much wants to get his brother to the healing and the care that he needs. Very carefully avoiding any talks about demonic infestation like that. But aside from that, I don't think we have a specific direction at the moment. Although I do think that all three of us, I hesitate to speak for them, especially in their absence, but I do think all three of us have a vested interest in trying to curtail the demonic invasion for the same reason that most sane people would.
Yes.
So if you're offering a job or a
Well,
mission,
it's not a job so much. I was actually wanting to provide you, if you were going in the same direction as us, an escort to wherever you are going. With also the added benefit that you would be with that escort in case anything happens. It's a two-way escort, you understand.
I do, yes. Let me just pull up my mental map of the Underdark here. Let's see. So we're here.
This is why I ask if there is anywhere specific you are going.
You are here.
Yes.
Are you going somewhere in the Underdark, on the surface world, or what are you going?
Hang on a second. We'll use this Underdark map. Give me 1 second.
Well, according to Google Maps.
Well, no, because like you would have told me this where we're trying to get topside, right? And I don't remember. I'm not even sure you've told me in real life if that's a thing done. Where we're going, right? So there's Gracklestug right there. So where are we going? Topside.
What are we doing with Stool and
we still have to follow up on that too.
Yeah.
We've got 3 quest arcs right now, and in fact, actually, hang on.
So we would need to liberate the Myconids, Myconids from their demonic possession.
Remind me what area that was, because I'm staring at a map.
Where the Myconids were?
Yeah.
They have mentioned Neverlight Grove.
One thing I like about more modern maps, instead of maps that are literally scanned from the book, is you can just type in Control F and figure out where it is. Help me out. Give me a direction. Where is it at?
I would have to actually pull up my map. There are several different maps of the Underdark, and some of them don't have everything, partially because they're not like established locations.
Yeah.
They're just a place where things happen. So let's split it up real quick.
Yeah, I'm not actually seeing it. I'm not even seeing Gracklestug, and I know Gracklestug's on this list. It's an old city.
So the problem is, I'm just trying to see who actually would know where Neverlight Grove is.
That's also a good question.
And because this is literally like a Myconid place.
There it is. I found Menza Baranza, and then I immediately found Gracklestug. We're way up there. My goodness. We're in the North Dark right now.
Yeah, because so few Underdark travelers have ever stumbled upon Neverlight Grove, it rarely appears in the maps.
See if I can find a specific North Dark map. Here we go. I'm sorry, where are we going topside? I didn't hear the answer to that one.
I don't have a preference.
I assume we were taking him
out.
somewhere.
Yeah, basically it's taking him back to the temple, essentially.
Where was the temple?
I
I hate to ask, but it's kind of important,
Temples on the surface side is kind of like where, which temple do you want to go to?
Yeah, if we're taking him to a temple, then yeah, we're good. We can go pop out wherever.
It would be to a temple of Kellenvor, but as far as fairly close to High Moor, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Sword Coast.
Yep, there it is. It's near
the Serpent Hills.
That is a very strange area for that to be in, but okay. Nope, that works. We can make that work.
Actually, let's see. Where is this?
That is. I'm trying to find a better zoomed in map of that. That's the other thing. I remember I used to have some really good, high quality Forgotten Realms maps, and I just haven't had them in a while.
Okay, so
there it is.
Yeah, okay, I see it.
Yep, I do too. That's actually not too bad. That's kind of close to where we are. I mean, there's Baldur's Gate right there, for example. But that means
It's kind of between Waterdeep and Baldur's Gate.
yeah. And that's actually really good because that's almost right above us. That's just above and south of us right now.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So here's my thought. And I'll mention this to her opposite, but I'm going to powwow this in character too with all of you. It's like, okay, so we scout out. Is there any places she wants to scout in a southerly direction, kind of heading towards Newthroth, for example, or Newthroth?
Oh, she says, yes, there's that we don't go in any direction. Well, I guess my question to you is, if you're wanting to go to the surface, there are several routes that we know which go to this. If you would like us to take any detours to escort you up there, or at least guide you part of the way, we can do so.
Oh yeah. Let's absolutely do that, and then we'll link up. We'll help. Everything will be cool forever. We will probably be back, but I don't know when we'll be back to here. I'm just letting you know that we're not going to the surface and say, well, that's your problem. We're out.
Yeah, figure it out.
Have fun with the giant demonic invasion. Just a mile under our feet. No, we're going to be back. It's just we do need to get him to his home. We need to get his care. The rescue mission was one of the main reasons we were here. Once that's done, we'll come back down. Might hook up. Do you know anything about this Nether place, the Nether Deep place that I've already forgotten the name of because I'm just really stupid?
Nether Deep place.
The Myconid place.
Oh, let's see.
You have any intel on that?
She says, I would have to consult. This is a place I have heard about, but I know if I do not know about it, it is likely a place we have not gone in some time.
Well, one of the other things we would like to do. So if I might ask a favor of you, if this is acceptable to you, would it be possible for you to use your substantially superior resources and information network to try and find any information about this place? We mostly just need its location.
No, I will ask. I'm not the repository of all.
No, I know. It's just I would like to put in a formal request for this. We'll pay if we have to.
No, it's fine. We will see if it is on the map.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And if you could get this to it before we leave, that's great. And if you can't, well, we'll be back when we come back in order to get the information and make sure that things haven't gone completely to hell here.
As far as to the surface, we the most common route to get to the surface from here will put you. I know a few surface towns. But one I do know is named Hiddlesvar. This is a place that we have traded with some points in time, so I know of this.
Okay.
I do not know if this is close to where you need to go, but it will get you to the surface. I am sure you can find your way from there.
It's easy to navigate once you're on this. They've got roads up there. Could you believe that?
Yeah. Hillsar would actually be a place you'd know of. It's a fairly famous city. It's by the Moon Sea.
Okay. I know where that is even. My character should know where that is too.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. So I will thank her very politely and very formally. And again, if you have any information for us before or after we leave, please let me know. We are trying to, I'll go ahead and tell her we're seeking into a possible demonic incursion in that area. That's our specific interest in that. So getting rid of that is obviously kind of a high priority for us since it's someplace we actively know the demons are causing issues in.
Well, if that's the case, I look forward to hearing what you have to say about this because it would be in our interest too if there is a demonic incursion.
Oh yeah, no, we're all anti-demons here, even though we're good and you're evil. I don't say that part. So, formal bow. Head back to Liam, who's probably just waiting there, tapping his feet like, "Come on, dude, stop flirting with her. Let's go." Like, hey, Liam, so we need to have a chat. And then I head back to the inn with him, staying quiet the entire way there.
Okay.
I'm not stupid enough to talk about this out in the open.
All right. So I'm assuming everyone meets back up. Cuillin is still out, and like you surmised, he's probably going to be out for quite some time.
We're going to need a wagon to carry him.
I mean, with your attending to him, it should be fine as long as you're not disturbing him.
So I will pretty much inform the group, like, so here's the dealio.
Okay.
Here's the route. Here's the intel. I'm asking her about where the nether place is that I've already forgotten the name of.
Neverlight Grove.
Neverlight. Thank you. I want to say Nether Deep for some reason.
Another realm, that's where Scorpion.
Yeah, and then I know we're gonna go there and do Mortal Kombat. It'll be great.
Yeah, Neverlight Grove, get over here.
It makes sense. No, and then yeah. So I'm thinking that this sounds acceptable, Taston. Like, we get your brother out to the High Moors and find the Temple of Kelimvor, and then we come right back.
Yeah, the help he needs, and then return.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds like a plan to me then.
Okay. You get some food and drink. There's actually fairly nice palace food at your beck and call.
Oh, thank God. I could really go for that right about now. Is my skin still just kind
of? So until you actually heal hit points, it is.
I tried to test him.
I did give you that potion.
Yeah, I don't want to waste it. The testing, could you?
Yeah, no.
Actually, I will go ahead and hand that potion back just to make sure, because I actually technically have a potion of my own. I completely forgot about until after you already handed me your healing potion. So you now have your potion back.
Okay.
Yeah, I am wiped to say the least. I do have one last thing to do. I'm sorry to keep taking up time here. I want to talk to my wonderful, loyal, and faithful dog for just a moment.
Okay. Ren? Yep, he has been in the clan area.
So I'm just gonna be like, Bren, hey.
19 points.
Oh, thank you. I needed that.
Yeah, so it does disappear. It
I'll
seems
take that
to
as
act
well.
much like normal necrotic damage, at least at this point.
Thank you, Dustin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Bren, buddy.
Yes.
I toss him a thing of bacon. So
Caught in midair.
So you probably know that I use the power of demons to fight demons, right? Like, you're aware of that.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure we're both.
I'm a dog. I'm not blind.
I'm just making sure.
I'm blind, not deaf.
But I feel after today that this is a bit of a turning point in my character's arc, because I've been debating whether or not I'm going to go Dragon Monk or Demon Hunter Monk for a bit now, for a couple of weeks now, actually. And I think this is the turning point. I think I'm going to go ahead and commit to being a full Demon Hunter Monk. Obviously, that's the out of character explanation, but I'm explaining this in character to Brent. It's like, look, I can do so much good with this. I have already done good with this. I would like to keep doing good with this. You didn't see the army. And this is like the big thing. Like, you did not see this army, Brent, of hundreds, if not thousands, of demons pouring through this portal, possibly in military formation. I don't remember. It's whatever she prompted out of me. So I'm basically saying this kind of as an apology. Like, the tone is just, look, I'm sorry that I have to, be this. But I think this is right. I don't want you to leave, by the way. This is not a goodbye thing. It's not a breakup. Dear John. No, this is me just trying to explain and apologize and a little bit defend myself, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
I obviously am still follow Bahamut. I still follow Bahamut's ways and thoughts, and it's going to help me center myself, which is the other thing I wanted to mention. Because if you notice me starting to slip, please say something. Please feel free to bring it up. And if I slip a little bit more, bring it up to the other two, because, that needs to stop.
It's like, red eyes, horns. Like,
yeah, you start to see some. It's just
the little things.
Yeah. You've played Fable, right? When you go evil and you just.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wait, can't you turn evil by kicking a dog in that?
Yes, actually. So stand still for a second, Brett. No, I'm just.
No, he says, if this was the first day I'd met you, I would have said, absolutely not, no way, this is terrible. But I trust you'll follow Bahamut's path, and this is what he wants you to do.
I hope so, because this is a mess, is what this is.
I can't disagree. I feel very uneasy. It seems like there is a lot going on that I don't really know.
Speaking of which, could you do me a favor and send one of your messages and just make sure they probably already know, but just make sure they know about the gigantic demonic army. It's specifically leaving from the 113th plane. That is the Thanatos plane. It's under Orcus. I don't know anything about him because I roll a 4 on him, but I know everything else.
Now, he says, I can try, but as you recall, I've been fairly unsuccessful in getting things through.
I know. I just want to make sure that we at least make the effort to try.
I'm going to try. Hold on. Let me actually roll it right now.
Okay. This is it. It's going to be success. Everything's going to be, there's going to be a unicorn. It's going to show up.
He shakes his head.
Okay. There's no unicorn today. That's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brent.
If they're marching through gigantic portals, like you said, that would make a whole lot more sense as to why things are currently tied up in other planar areas.
Yeah, I honestly think that I think that I think this is the story of Diablo. I think that they're trying to use the mortal plane as a bridge to invade what their actual targets, you know.
Maybe, who knows? I really don't know. I kind of wish my master had not run away somewhere else, because I think he'd probably be able to explain this a lot better.
It would have been helpful, but I hope he's still alive. That's the real concern there. Not to be negative, it's just, given everything that's going on right now.
Right.
Okay, thanks, Bren. Scratch behind the ears.
Oh, thank you. It's kind of weird if you scratch a dog behind the ears. Goes, thank you.
You're welcome, I think.
Oh yes, right there. Harder.
Okay. I'm gonna leave now.
Just stomping his foot on the ground.
This is kind of strange. That's all I had. I just want to make sure he was up to date on that, and I'm gonna commit to the Demon Hunter thing. And yeah, I guess we're hitting the surface next. We're gonna find the Acquisitions Inc. group and hire them to help us out.
Oh yeah.
That's right. You have their book, don't you?
I do. Hold on,
Liam, you said.
Have you seen this book?
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's an official book. It's not actually a
Yeah.
joke.
No, it's got all sorts of stuff in here. It's a lot of the stuff is drawn by Mike from Penny Arcade.
Oh, okay. So it's got that style.
Yeah, it's like, I think the way they described it was high fantasy mixed with dark office humor.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
I've only seen one of their modules.
There's actually some new
right.
spells in here too, which are quite interesting. Some of them for clerics, wizards, sorcerers, and they're things like Distort Value, Fast Friends, Gift of Gab, Incite Greed, Jim's Magic Missile, not Magic Missile, Jim's Magic Missile.
Right, of course.
Motivational speech. Yeah, if you cast Jim's Magic Missile, you actually have to spend a gold every time for royalties.
Is it better though?
It's more random. So what happens is you actually, instead of the missiles striking automatically, they don't. You make a ranged spell attack for each missile, and it does 2d4 instead of 1d4 plus 1 when it hits. And if it scores a critical hit, they instead take 5d4 for that missile. But if the attack roll for any of the missiles is a 1, all the missiles hit their target and blow up in your face, dealing 1 force damage to you.
Yeah, no, that sounds. So I'll mention to Liam. I heard of this spell book, right?
Scoreboard.
I don't know if it sounds like your style, right? I feel like you should totally see about getting those.
There is a super useful spell in here called Gift of Gab. So it's a reaction. You have to pay 2 gold royalty, but this is actually just a spell you cast as a take back. So if you say something in like diplomacy or whatnot, and there's like a terrible reaction, you cast this as a reaction. And each creature of your choice within 5 feet of you forgets everything you said within the last 6 seconds.
Wow.
That might be worth picking up.
Super helpful.
If you want to. That's just to think about it.
Let me see who actually gets this.
It sounds like a bardic spell, but I don't know if anyone else can.
Wizards have this.
Ooh. There you go.
You gotta find it though. This is an Acquisitions Inc. spell. So.
Well, we're going topside and we'll be in the Waterdeep area, kind of.
I looked at it too. There's no save. It's literally, I actually just said the wrong thing. Hold on. Let me take that. You do have to
Let me
replace it
walk
with,
that back a bit.
yeah, you do have to replace it with a different message.
You
Yeah,
just call it
it's the
Control
undo.
Z.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
So,
I have
Liam,
something.
you said you were going to cast Detect Magic. on
So
Freeland?
yeah, what I was going to do is identify,
Hmm.
and then after identify, if there are spells affecting him, then I'll cast Dispel Magic.
Okay.
I may not be successful in said Dispel Magic, but that's the plan.
Okay. So identify on him, because you just have to be touching him. And I know it identifies spells. Let me just, what does it do anything other than identify spells? Is there anything else?
Let me read it. Learn what spells, if any, are currently affecting it.
Okay. So he does have some spells currently affecting him. The first one is Dominate Person. And the second one is Scrying. Why? I will say you can make a intelligence arcana check on these. I know you know like what they are, but just for some additional details.
19.
Okay. So you think that these are probably cross-planar, meaning that the creature that cast them is on a different plane. So this means a few things. The first thing is for the scrying. I mean, obviously you can do scrying across planes, right? It just has a chance of failure. This also does mean that someone obviously is watching him right now. This also does mean for the dominate person, you know that there is no way it can be active right now, even though it's cast to him, because the creature who is on the other end has to be on the same plane for it to work.
Okay.
So it's literally just latent right there and probably is not in use at the moment.
What level are those spells?
Scrying is 5th and Dominate is 5th.
Okay.
Can you dispel that high level?
So I could upcast it at level 4. And
If you can't match the spell level, it honestly doesn't matter which. It's just a roll.
ability check using your spellcasting ability, DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. So this would be a 15 check, and I have spellcasting ability is
Let's see, should it just be your intelligence?
intelligence. Yeah, so 15 or 5. Sorry.
Now, since this is an ability check, things like guidance and stuff will help with this. So that adds a D4 to your check when you make it.
So
Would you like-
I'll let the guys know that he's got scrying from another plane that's active, and dominate person, which cannot be used from another plane, so it's idle. But he
Okay.
does have both of those spells cast on him ongoing.
I could break his neck really quick.
Actually, still won't end them.
I know. I was about to say, I don't think it'll help, but it'll make me feel. No, I can't help with any of this.
I would recommend at least dispelling the scry. If whoever cast the dominate comes to this plane, granted, they could still try and dominate him, but they won't know where he is or what he's doing.
Would it help if we take care of the dominate human first, and then or take him to a concentration of phasers to try and break them both? Not by having you cast, but like just would the spells dissipate or have a chance of dissipating if we took him, if they're ongoing spells, if we took him towards phasers? Or is there a chance of wild magic?
So the spell isn't being cast in the presence of the phasers.
Okay.
So no, the wild magic wouldn't go off. I don't think phasers would make any difference in this kind of situation.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I mean, third.
From what you know about it, it could probably suppress ongoing items and prevent future castings of it. But as far as removing current ones, probably not.
Okay.
So,
Oh yeah, we did do the weird thing with Asha.
Mhm.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, because she had Scry cast on her as well.
Yeah.
Because last time we cut the Scry and then used... What did we use to actually dissipate it?
I don't recall, to be honest. You might
Because
have.
I didn't have
straight
Greater
up-
Restoration yet.
You might have straight up just dispelled it or just waited its duration or something. It does have a duration, like it's not permanent.
Yeah, I think the duration is exactly what we did. I think we kept
So
her
what's the
under
duration
watch and key.
on Control Person?
Depends on the spell level.
Can his
Um,
identify figure out the spell level?
It doesn't say anything about that. It just says identify the spell.
It doesn't, but Liam, because of your role, because of your arcane knowledge, it is probably not cast at its lowest level, otherwise, unless somebody just did it like while he was in the bed, because otherwise it would have worn off by now. You do know that at its highest level, it's said to last up to like part of the day, like a matter like hours.
Okay. So dominate person will wear off over time.
Mhm.
Scrying does not.
Scrying does. The duration is just straight up 10 minutes, though, unless there is some like magic. And then for both of those, obviously, magic items can break these rules.
Right.
But the normal scry spell is 10 minutes.
And just to be very clear, it has been substantially longer than 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So my casting of the identify on the person did not identify any objects on him that were holding those.
Yeah, so it wouldn't identify like objects on him, or there's no objects on him, rather, right? He doesn't have like a magic item on him. However, because I guess identify would have taken 10 minutes at least to ritual cast.
Right.
That either you got incredibly lucky, or somebody's chain casting it, or there's some sort of item that's allowing it to continue in duration, or some combination of it.
I hate to ask this, but is there a way to identify if there's a magic item in him?
That's difficult.
So I remember
if it's affecting him, like with a spell or something, probably. If it's literally just in him not doing anything,
obviously the idea is that it's affecting the scry. So hypothetically, like a detect magic shows an aura, right? A glow.
Right.
So hypothetically, you would be able to see if there's like a specific spot, like you've seen The Dark Knight, right? The guy is like, "Oh my god, my stomach hurts."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a detect magic would do it.
Just a suggestion.
In addition to that, so the holy symbol he came back with was not the one he originally was given when he went in, and the one that he had. Would detect magic be a better way to do it, or detect evil be a better way to cast onto it to see if that's the focal point?
Probably detect magic.
Okay. I will use detect magic on that.
Okay. It's not radiating any magic in particular. You do see that he is radiating magic, but it is divination and enchantment magic, which tracks with what Liam has seen.
Okay. since I'm the one who's holding it and or wearing.
Oh,
that
Ash is
version-
already also radiating divination magic.
Sorry.
What?
Yes.
Liam, could you identify her? Figure out what spells on her, please.
I mean,
Considering she supposedly lost her power.
it'll take some time, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, I know, 10 minutes, but like, huh? In fact, real quick, I'm going to turn the side on her, just super quick.
Okay.
Is she a demon or demon consumed or whatever?
No. Not to your sight, no.
I'm just like, okay.
I'm
I
gonna
just glow for a moment.
I'm gonna turn to her and ask, Asha, did you cost anything?
She says, no, don't worry, I already know what it is.
What
Lulth
is it?
Lulth is watching.
Well, gentlemen,
That's neat.
I didn't think gods needed to cast Scry.
Oh, it may not be her directly. Obviously, if it was her, if she had her direct attention on you, I'm sure you would likely explode instantly.
That's pleasant.
I mean, she has many minions who can do her work for her.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to recommend you still do the identify on her, just to try. I mean, it's 10 minutes,
Sure.
Okay. All right. She submits to it, and you do see that she has a scry on her. There is also one other thing that is also divination, and it is, where is it? I'm gonna get the correct name of it. Yep, it is Telepathic Bond.
So, I'm a monk, so I obviously don't know what that means, but I'm sure my mage friend knows exactly what that means, so you can explain to the rest of us.
So this is Liam. This is a pretty famous spell, like no roll needed. It is Telepathic Bond, or also otherwise known as Rory's Telepathic Bond, named after the egomaniac wizard who created this, I guess. So you know that this is very, very commonly used by wizards to communicate over incredibly long distances. Once it's like the spores on crack. Once it is cast on individuals, and it can go up to 8 people, you can communicate them across any distance as long as it's not on another plane of existence. This lasts for an hour, and it's a 5th level spell, and that's basically what it does. This is one of the primo, learn this spells that wizards get once they reach a sufficient level.
Well, how do you want to proceed?
Good question. Are we going to tell her? I mean, like that. As much as I am not overly fond of the idea, it's an option. Remember, this whole start thing with her started with a frickin' illithid,
Right.
and that's all I know. But this is that's not good. What do you think, Taz?
We should probably try and find out who she's communicating with. If not, then she's got to go.
I mean, we could really just confront her. Just be like, listen, you're going to be honest with us about this, or that's the end of this particular interaction. Or we don't have any kind of divination or scrying.
Do we have a
mind reading.
Vulcan?
Yeah, I was going to say, we have nothing to be able to work our way around this without just talking to her. Hey, Mr. +1 charisma, could you convince her? I mean,
Convince her what? To fight back?
No. I want her to be honest. Like if I've been hearing voices that she thinks is Lolth, but it isn't. Oh my god. Okay. Why don't we approach her from the angle of what has Lolth been telling you? No, let's walk that back. More neutral. What have you been told? You say, I mean, tested. She told you, trials, right?
Yeah.
The whole thing. So obviously something's been communicated to you, right? And then this is probably still a deception roll, but the point is to try and slant it in our favor so that we're not outright telling you, hey, lady, what do you think? What do you think? And again, this should probably be you, Liam, because you have the charisma.
Okay.
I'll give you advantage. I'll assist.
And this is persuasion?
Third.
Well, it depends on what you're asking her.
What are you being told is really what this boils down to. What information, what voices have you been hearing? What whispers?
She'll straight up just tell you that I, of course, has been hearing the whispers of Loth. I am retrieving instructions for my test.
Of course. It's interesting that seems to involve us.
I didn't say it did.
But you've been with us for like 3 months, lady.
Yes.
I know more about you than my own sister at this point. Come on, let's.
You even have a sister?
No.
Okay.
Making my statement true.
Because I know what I know about it. There are some things I will not reveal to you, as it would be against the test. But
is there anything you
I know what I
can
must
tell
do.
us?
Yes, I need to kill someone.
Can you tell us where?
I don't know where. It's whenever the opportunity presents itself. When it comes, I will know.
Do you know who you've got to kill?
Yes.
Will you tell us?
No.
And
Is it one of us? No. We'll put 20 questions. That way you won't have to violate your oath.
That would absolutely ruin my chances of it happening.
Oh, that's not great. Okay. This is one of the worst things that could happen here. Okay, here's a thought. Do you have Speak with Dead, Taston? Third already knows what I'm suggesting.
I mean, yes, but I'm not sure where this is going.
Oh, it's easy. We kill her. And then Speak with Dead, and the dead can't lie. That's how the spell works.
No, not
Wow.
exactly. She tells it, not exactly.
And then
I'm a priestess. I should know.
well, no, but then because it'll be less than a minute since she died, you res her, you bring her back. Depending
Seems
on her.
awfully expensive. And it could be lying. Who
Yeah.
knows? Let me ask this. Why do you just instantly believe what I've told you?
Well, because my GM didn't ask me to do a deception check or an insight check.
Do you want to do one?
I'm pretty sure I'm rolling this nonstop rounder, but I'll go ahead and roll it. That is a 21.
Okay. She seems to be straight up with you, like she doesn't really care that you know. I mean, you're detecting that she obviously is intentionally keeping some things back, but she has told you as much.
Okay.
You do kind of get the sense that she's a little, I don't care if I live or die right now.
Yeah, no. I mean, she's been that way this whole time, really.
But you're pretty sure she's carefully making sure she doesn't violate like some unwritten rule that she has. But otherwise, seems to be open.
Well, first and foremost, I'm thinking now might be a good time to take her away from my brother,
Yeah, that's valid.
in case he's the target.
I'd ask if I could go somewhere that has as comfortable furnishings as this. Which seems to be a joke since this place is pretty Spartan. But
Dwarves.
they have
Might be able to get your room next to the Deep King.
style like Drow. How long to sleep on a bed of spider webbing once again?
Why don't we cut it there?
Oh, it is getting close to midnight.
It is getting late.
Yeah.
And this is, let's be honest with ourselves, a fairly complex and difficult decision to make on how we deal with this.
Yeah.
All right.
And I need to bribe my GM with food to get more information.
Yeah, I think we need to talk.
Yeah, that's bad. I'm not going to say anything, but I have some suspicions.
Yeah, Liam, you think between you and me, we can use Dispel Magic to try and get both Scry and Control Person off of Cuillin, and then this is, of course, after we've dealt with Asha.
Do you want to go ahead and do the spell attempt?
I can give it a try.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to roll for it because I almost guarantee it's not going to be high enough level for me.
Don't do that yet. So you can do the bonus to the roll, right?
I don't know if I can give the bonus to myself.
No, but you could give it to me.
Yes, that I can do.
Right. How many times can you do that?
Oh, it's a cantrip, so I can do it as many times as I need to, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Yeah, guidance. It's a cantrip. So yeah, all day long.
Okay, so right now I can do a 4th level and a 3rd level Dispel Magic. I'll definitely need the bonus when I cast it at 3rd level. I may not need it for the level 4, but I may just be blowing a spell slot. Because I've got to get at least a 16 or higher on my skill check to dispel the 5th level spell.
Okay.
Right there.
Well, so the way it works is one of the spell magic will actually have an attempt at both of them with one casting, since you're targeting the creature.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to do it separately. Well, I mean, unless one of them fails, and obviously you could try it again. Right? So the DC would be 15 for both of them, since they're both 5th level.
Okay.
I mean, to be honest, unless you can match the spell level of it, like if you could cast a spell magic at 5th level, that would obviously be preferable because that's an automatic dispel, right?
Right.
But if you can't, upcasting it to 4th level actually doesn't do anything. It just takes up a high level spell slot, and you have the exact same chance of dispelling it as the 3rd level.
Yeah, the problem is I only have one 3rd level spell slot.
Oh, okay. So you're forced to use the 4th level if it fails. Okay, I gotcha.
So, all right. So I'll do the 3rd level. And you're going to give me that bonus, which is +2.
It's a D4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now you can choose to use that. So if you get like a sufficiently high roll in the first one, you can I'm going to save this for the second one and do that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. First roll. So 11 on the dice +5, so 16.
Boom. Scrying comes off.
I don't trust my dice. I'm going to take that plus.
Okay.
So it is a +2.
Only because I rolled
No.
2 on a D4.
Right. I just asked that. Sorry. Okay, so
No,
+2.
that's fine. I mean, you're right. Just by happenstance, you're absolutely correct.
All right. So +7, 17.
Okay. and Dominate Person comes off. So you strip off all magic, and through the Detect Magic, you can see that Cuillin is no longer glowing. And then it starts again. No, just kidding. It doesn't.
Stop! No.
Yeah, I was going to ask, can those spells be recast on him if they have been dispelled?
They can if they have the ability to do so again. You know that Dominate Person does have to be fairly close. So, I mean, unless there's a magic item involved, if you see it recast on him, you probably want to look around the room. Scrying is very long range. But when it starts, well, yeah, I mean, scrying's like another thing. This is.
If can you cast through a scry on a target? Like just random example. Let's say someone's scrying her and sees him. Can they recast, for example, scry on him?
So scry actually wouldn't require a sight to cast on someone. They just need to have heard of them at the very minimum. There are some spells you can do through scry, but that's one of those ones you'd have to really actually look at the spell to see. Most in general, the answer is no. Usually, just for the sheer matter of fact that you're not in the same area and you cannot. They're not in range.
See, okay, if I might, gentlemen, and I pull them into another room. Ron, watch her.
Okay.
Don't let her do anything to his brother.
He shoulders his axe and just watches her.
Okay, so leave room. We've already dispelled her, but she actively has magic on her. This is my worry, because there's not a lot of ways that can happen. And this is further my worry for your brother for what is effectively the exact same reason.
Yeah. So we'd have to check him from time to time.
William, have you heard of some kind of magical artifact or device that allows you to do this? To just kind of recast that despite all this? I mean, obviously it's possible there's just someone who's invisible 3 feet over here and I flail around real quick. Because that'd be funny.
Oh, you find someone. He's like, hey.
I knew it. It's possible
Random
that
person.
we've got someone who's just kind of following us around and,
You figure
recasting stuff.
If there's someone like that, then what are they doing with their time?
That is a damn good question. So again,
I mean, anything's possible, right? But if you would like, Liam, you can make an intelligence arcana check.
19.
19. Okay. The first thing that comes to mind is, it's not common, but it's a commonly known item in the wizarding world, is a Scrying Orb, or otherwise known as a crystal ball. That is something which has the ability to essentially keep a permanent scry on somebody. However, those are it's one of those things that's incredibly well known, but so rare as most people have never even seen one in their life. They're actually legendary items, right? Let's see. You do know that there are certain items that can do it in a much weaker fashion, but in general, they don't allow chain casting on it, right? It's still just an item which allows you to cast scry maybe a few times per day, and that's it. You do know of a way to protect against these kind of things, like crystal ball, and that is a specific magic item, which is fortunately much more common and, let's face it, less expensive. It is the magical item version of the spell non-detection. Non-detection, obviously works, right? That defeats a crystal ball. It defeats things like dragon marks, which allow you to scry on someone, things like that. Because that's just a general, you hide the target from divination magic, period. It's a spell, wizarding spell that you can learn. The more permanent version is a amulet of non-detection, and that's essentially just a permanent version of the spell. So you give someone an amulet and they cannot be scryed upon. And other things like divination spells won't work at all. Like detect magic will not work on them. Telepathic bond actually is divination that won't work on them. Detect evil won't work on them. None of that stuff will work on them.
I'm trying to figure out how to ask this in an in-character way. But does anybody in the party know enough about magical creatures to know any creatures that have this kind of ability, like as part of their kit?
I wouldn't.
Nope.
Any demons? I could swing that one, even though I don't know any demons that do that. But
So I could tell you that all three of you could probably search your knowledge and come up with some type of creature in each category which could do something like this.
no. Okay.
Is there any specific ones you're thinking
Illithids.
of? Illithids. That would be an Arcana check.
So that used to be what they call it, dungeon crawling or whatever. I forget the name of the
Dungeoneering?
skill. Dungeoneering. That was a skill nobody ever used except when it came to finding out stuff about this kind of thing.
Yeah, they got rid of it.
16 on Arcana check.
16 Arcana check, okay.
I guess I'll roll too. Why not?
So I'll tell you
Excellent.
just what you know from the 16. You know, Taston, that just in general, Illithids or Mind Flayers don't have like an innate way to do this. But you don't know much about like the deep secrets of the Illithid, right? Of the Mind Flayers. It's just not something. What's that, Liam?
23 for my Arcana.
23. All right. So Liam, you think, and you're like, I don't know of any innate abilities for them. However, you do know that some of them could absolutely have this just through innate spellcasting. But as far as this is just permanently on me because I'm an Illithid, not that you know of.
Not even like an elder brain or anything like that.
Elder brain. Elder brains.
They're at the center of every illithid hive. There's a brain. And that
I know it is. Sorry, I was just repeating what I was typing.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Admittedly, I actually in real life I'm not sure if elder brains can do that. It's just I was curious.
Yes.
I know they have a completely different kit than their minions. Whatever you want to call that.
Yeah, you can't think of anything Illithid related, Liam, that really does this innately. All you know is that some Illithid can be pretty powerful, like wizards or scions, arcanists, things like that, and they could potentially learn this, like non-detection, but it'd be just like any other wizard doing it. You know, they're resistant to magic, but that doesn't really help them against like not being affected by it aside from just being able to like resist a scry or something like that.
Well, I'm sorry to repeat myself, but I think we should decide if we do the necklace or just part ways with her, or you do the spell. But we should probably decide that next week.
I agree.
Yep.
Or like over the week or something like that. Yeah, no, let's chop it. Let's chop it.
Try and ask some questions in Discord over the next week, and hopefully we can come to a decision before next session.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Well, this seems inviting.
Do we know what plane this is?
We don't, but I think we do.
Thanatos, as far as you know.
How do you spell that?
It is THANATOS.
The plane of Thanatos.
In parentheses, WE, next word, ARE, another word, S.
FU.
Yeah, I was going to say screwed or, F or whatever. Pick one.
Yep.
We are any number of
We are
adjectives.
all of the above.
Yeah. These
Keep
particular.
looking forward to a session where I don't begin the session with, well, we're probably going to die this session.
Well, we're invading a plane of somebody who is not very nice.
Yeah.
So we've escalated from dragon to planar deity.
Yeah.
You're kind of in the wrong campaign at this point.
Apparently, yeah. Let's just. All right. Next, let's go punch like all of I don't know what's Cyrus. Let's go punch Cyrus in the face. That'll work out well.